Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
It's Tuesday night. Chad's in a fog. He's podcasting and baking again. Welcome to Final Guys, everybody. You ready to talk some horror? I got my boys with me. Chad, under the influencer. Jason, who hates influencers. Mm-hmm. I'm under the influence. And Hunter, Jack Crispy.
Crispy!
Explain that. I don't get it.
Because that girl had a crispy part on her face, so her name is Crispy.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Cruel.
It's like,
I thought you were going to have guacamole.
The name is from Impractical
my
Jokers. So, and my wife kept saying it through the entire movie. So there you go. It's stuck in my head.
In case you didn't know, tonight's main feature is Influencer, which is on Shudder, and we'll get to that in a little while. We're going to talk some horror first. Guys, anything to report before we jump in?
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, of course Jason would forget. Bleeding Page Podcast has a brand new episode up with Joe Lansdale.
I'm so bad at promoting anything I'm involved with.
Yeah. And it's kind of fitting because Joe's book The Thicket is being turned into a Tubi movie.
Wow.
And but I have a Tubi original.
Yes, but I have faith because it stars Peter Dinklage and Juliette Lewis, as well as James Hetfield.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Is he the one that told you that Children of the Corn was good?
No, my gosh, no.
Okay. All right. What are the drinking words? Do we have any?
I don't see any. I don't see Sheridan in the chat at all.
Sharon was abducted.
How are we going to drink?
Well, if influencer is the social. So.
What the hell? Is he okay?
Hunter's his birthmark.
Yeah, I
all right, good night, everybody.
Words.
Mine is news. Jason's is ending.
Should we put in a wellness check?
We don't know how to function now.
We need a wellness check in the Southwest.
Maybe if it pops up, I'll say something.
Well, let's get to the award-winning news segment then, because I got a little something for Jason at some point in this.
Oh,
I hope it's a bad news.
It's the news! Yay!
I can't wait to tell these news stories because they're all like the kind that are hit triggers for you guys. So,
damn you!
Which is so easy because you're all a bunch of snowflakes. All right,
where's it coming from?
There's like 4 or 5 Return of the Living Dead movies. There's 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a reboot is in the works. By not Dan O'Bannon. Who's doing this? Steve.
It can't
Walsh?
be Dan O'Bannon. He's dead.
Living Dead Media is behind a upcoming reboot. It's going to be they're going to expand the existing world created by the original 5 films. So this is a continuation, not a remake.
I feel better with that. But
so do I. Even though the Great to the Rave and the other one are.
The first one is it for me.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. I mean, maybe they do something interesting, but of what's already been made, that's the only one I go back to.
I've been meaning to go back to the third one because I haven't seen it in years, and that's the one that seems like it has some legs.
I've only seen the first 3.
See,
You can
there's been such a
avoid the
lack
others.
of zombie movies over the last 15 years. I think I'm interested to see what they do with zombies.
Well, number one, that's where Fast Zombies really came from. Number two, that does horror comedy better than pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It's going to be hard to do a sequel to that nowadays, though. I mean, comedy's kind of dead.
Yeah,
hope
you
they can
can't
pull
be
it off.
Because they
funny.
can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't say anything.
Send
I don't
more
know.
paramedics.
all they got to do, watch the last 2 and do the opposite of whatever those 2 movies did, and you're on the right track.
Yeah, just watch the first one and pretend the others don't exist and try to maybe Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Get the guys who made that.
The second one has some
Yeah.
great moments in it, though. That I don't know. There's something about this. You, me, them. It's all familiar.
What a
I think the
weird
first
movie.
3 are fine. I love the first. I think the next 2 are fine.
I mean, the first is one of my favorite movies of all time. So
When are we getting another Black Summer?
that's a good question.
I'm guessing not. It's been a while.
And the
I
last
don't
one
know,
was
all
Winter.
these series. What did I watch? Oh, well, like that one on Peacock about the poker face,
Oh yeah,
and I watched the Kelly Kuko one about the podcast and the murder.
I like that.
the series. The next, they're not going to come back till like 2025.
Oh yeah, with
Well-
everything going on, we can finally catch up on things.
Yeah,
This break is good for us.
Well, Black Summer's Netflix, and it's a good show, which means they probably canceled it.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They said this is way too much like a Mindhunter. We better get rid of it.
Yeah, this is too good. We're not going to do this again.
Okay.
Oh, Michael Totin, I guess Totten. F is
Tot-
for Family isn't comedy. Dude, that is one of the funniest shows.
Bill Burr
Cartoons.
cartoon isn't comedy.
No, I think he's like asking, like, who's like somebody
Oh.
said that. Did I miss that?
Oh, that is straight up comedy, and that pushes the boundary. But Bill Burr
Never
doesn't
watched it.
care.
I saw.
Oh, maybe
Bill,
he's saying because I said comedy is dead. He's saying F is for Family is still a good comedy.
I saw Bill Burr in
Great
concert about a
You
month
lucky
ago.
bastard. Really?
Yep, and in Bridgeport.
Nice.
Stand up is like the last bastion of actual comedy right now. Like those guys are still slinging it, so I appreciate that.
Here's the tricky part about that show. No cell phones. Like you had to put them in this bag that they clip shut and then they reopen it,
Right.
which I guess meant that there was no electronic tickets. So you fight traffic to get there. You find a parking space, and then the will call window was like 5 lines that went from the stadium back to
Right.
the highway, which was like 3 football fields.
Holy
And
cow.
like so it was so freaking ridiculous how long it took to get into that place.
Well, they forget how to do this. I mean, remember, we all grew up, here's my ticket.
Yeah.
Let me in. Big deal.
It's like they didn't have like an option to print tickets ahead of time. So stupid.
He's worth the wait, though.
Yeah, it was really good. That was right after the submarine thing, and he opened with some stuff about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Speaking of submarines and water, what's your favorite kind of horror thriller that takes place on like a roaring rapids?
It has to
Yes.
be rapids?
The River Wild with
Yeah.
Meryl Streep and Kevin Bacon.
Sure.
Of course.
So what you probably really want is a remake of that. Well, I'm happy to tell you there's one on the way with, how do you say it? Leighton Meester? The girl from
Oh,
like,
yeah. Pretty
Adam Brody, who I think might be her real life boyfriend.
Beefcake. Mm.
And Taron Killam, who's the guy from Saturday Night Live. It's married to Colby Smulders.
But was the first one a horror movie?
Oh,
No.
it's like a
Thriller.
thriller.
I don't
were like-
know.
Close enough for this thing. But, to avoid confusion, the Meryl Streep one is The River Wild. This one's just going to be River Wild.
Oh, totally different.
Kind of like the
Differentiator.
Suicide Squad thing.
Right. Oh, my.
So, That's going to hit digital, Blu-ray, and DVD, and all that on August 1st. So pre-order now.
Pass.
So
pass.
Michael Clark says they did the same phone thing with Chris Rick and Amy Schumer. But what I'm getting from this is you paid to go see Amy Schumer?
Yeah. What is the matter with you?
Why?
Chris Rock, maybe. Or did he see a knockoff Chris Rock? Chris Rick?
He saw Chris Rick.
Chris Rick. It's a combination of Chris Rock
And Slick Rick?
Rick Astley.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, Amy Schumer.
All right. Now, Hunter, you
I wouldn't
watched
see her if she was appearing in my living room.
Oh, God.
Hunter, you recently watched Pet Sematary, right?
I did.
I got great news for you.
No, you don't.
And actually, this is the one for Jason. I hope you have, what is it? I think it's Paramount Plus, but I could be wrong. They are doing a movie called Pet Sematary Bloodlines. Yeah, Paramount Plus for October 6th. And guess what it is, Jason?
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
Oh, is it the story of Judd?
It's the story of young Judd in 1969.
Why?
Now,
What?
I know
A dog.
a few names in the cast though, not the first name, but Henry Thomas, Duchovny, Pam Grier, and
Wow.
Natalie Lind, who was one of the girlfriends on the Goldbergs. Those are the four names I
Pam
recognize.
Grier.
Pam Grier,
Damn.
Jackie Brown.
Hell of a cast. I will give it that.
Yeah.
But do you think Judd's going to make it?
I don't.
Do you
I
think
don't
he
know.
lives?
Spence
Maybe he
is killing
dies and
me.
comes back.
At least we get to find out why Dead is better. Why he figured that out, right?
Sure. We get to see
Yeah.
him play with his dog before he buries it in the real Pet Cemetery.
Oh my God.
I think we need to come to terms with the fact that every single horror movie that we've ever seen is going to get a prequel, a sequel, and a reboot.
Hey,
Every
I
successful
understand.
one, yeah.
there hasn't been any new horror concepts in the last 50 years, so I understand why they're doing this. Just
All right.
me, people like me,
I want the
Jason, and
Skinamarink
Chad doing
prequel.
retreads. Oh, Skinamarink.
Who would you recast as the kid?
Who do
Just
we
use the
cast
same
as
kids.
corner of the wall?
Yeah.
Hey, Toten's with me. Fuck prequels. Thank you.
I agree.
Okay. Now it's past 4th of July, so it's time to start thinking about Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Everybody a fan of the big 13-foot skeleton that they have at Home Depot?
Of course.
Okay.
Where's this
Good
going?
news. They're going to have this year a 13-foot Jack Skellington that's got two different heads you can interchange, glowing LEDs to illuminate the face, and
Is this an
motion
ad
tech-
for Home Depot?
Wait, what are you doing right now?
I'm
Is
giving
Jack
you
getting paid?
shopping tips for Halloween.
Okay, you know what?
We have such sights to show you.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It's a giant Steven Seagal.
Sorry,
It's called-
Oh.
that segment's over.
Yeah, we're done. We're
I
done.
saw the bumper.
There's also a giant ghost and a giant pumpkin skeleton.
Thank you,
don't
Jack.
stop
for
the news. The news stops
Oh.
you, bitch.
You know what? That Home Depot check they gave him was what paid for all those new light bulbs.
You don't even start your house. You don't even take your Halloween decorations down.
No.
I actually, this past weekend, I thought when I could get away with putting them up. It's like,
Right now,
it's still a little hot.
they might melt.
I didn't even know they still sold Nightmare Before Christmas crap. I mean, isn't that a little old now?
There's a whole generation that loves Nightmare, like whole new generation.
We're
Yeah.
getting a prequel to Pet Cemetery. I mean,
Guys, we're done with the news. Can we move on, please?
These ideas are
Oh,
spoiled.
listen to you.
Hunter, what did you watch this week?
That's all the news that's not fit to print. So, I watched this movie. My wife is a found footage movie that almost no one's ever heard of called Home Movie. Jason, have you ever heard of this movie? Because you're
that's the found footage movie. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it's so funny because when you try to look it up, you type in home movie, you get anything but the movie.
You have to write home movie.
Yeah, it's weird. So we saw this years ago, and then I was going on Shudder. I'm like, oh my god, there's the movie, and it was like, Lady's Choice. We're diving back in. It's a pretty cool movie. It's about this couple. The guy is like a pastor. His wife is a therapist, and they get this house, and they have these twin boy and girl who are creepy, quiet, and sadistic. I mean, to say the very least. So it's like it takes them through several seasons, and the dad is like he's like a jokey, fun kind of dad, not like a dad joke kind of guy, and he's trying to engage these kids. And every time he tries something, like either the cat is nailed to the wall or they're torturing a kid on the side. And the mom, who's a therapist, can't see that these kids are effing whacked and just put them on some medication. So this is one of the better found footage movies, I think, especially for the budget. The budget is next to nothing, but kids are creepy, and they got two very good kids to play these weird children out there in the woods, wherever they were. So if you're a found footage, but no, forget it. Not even found footage, just a horror movie. It's actually a pretty good horror movie. Believe it or not.
I saw this when it came out, and I remember very, very little.
What's that on Prime?
It was on Shudder.
Shudder, he said.
It's not bombastic, but it had a satisfying ending, at least for me. And if you could
a found footage movie, if it has a good ending,
yeah,
half the battle.
That's true.
People get what they deserve. Yeah, the home movie, but then don't Google just home movie.
Home movie, Pamela Anderson, or
there's a lot.
8mm home movie.
One Night in Paris home movie. Yeah, don't do those, but do home movie.
You might movie get Hulk Hogan.
Oh God, that's it, brother.
All right, Chad, what you got?
I watched a movie on Prime called The Visitor from 2022. A guy and his wife leave their home in London and move back to her childhood home. But when the guy discovers in the attic where they're staying an old portrait of a man who looks like him, which he doesn't really look like him, not that much, but we're supposed to believe it's a spitting image. After that, he goes down a rabbit hole to discover the identity of the man in the painting, this doppelganger, known only as the Visitor. I watched this movie because I thought it was the one my daughter's been trying to get me to see for the last few years, but I was mistaken. She wanted me to see The Visit, and I watched The Visitor.
Close, but no cigar.
I hear The Visit is good. This movie is not good at all.
Who's in that movie? I feel like I've heard of it.
Nobody that I know. I saw it during our break. So when prepping for tonight, I had to go back and watch a few videos on YouTube to recap. That's how forgettable it is. I can remember pretty much anything about it. But during this refresher course,
Finn Jones, that's Iron Fist from Marvel.
Look at that, Jack.
Okay.
Never watched.
He was in Game of Thrones too.
But as I was doing the refresher course, I ran across a twist at the end that was being explained that I'd forgotten about, which is actually kind of cool. The twist was okay. But getting to that point was torturous. I can't imagine any like real jaded horror fan like we are appreciating this at all. This is more for like the 10-year-old kid who stays up past his bedtime and watches it secretly from behind the couch or on the stairs, and then grows up with these images in the back of his head and becomes this favorite movie because of the night that he watched.
That's
this
a
movie,
target
what this movie
demographic,
watched.
man.
That's it. There's nothing new here. I don't. I mean, there might be some people out there. Maybe I am just way too jaded, but it's full of cliches. I didn't like it at all. It's
So it's a Blumhouse movie.
it
Oh,
felt
it
very much
is.
like was it a Blumhouse movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the trailer. Yeah, Blumhouse. Yep.
Yeah, they're yeah, I do not like Blumhouse.
Sam, I am.
Jason, what you got?
I watched a movie. I think two of you guys talked about called All Eyes, or maybe all of you talked about it
Oh yeah,
on Prime.
you watch that, Hunter?
I did.
Yeah.
The podcaster gets fired from his job and goes out and talks to a crazy old farmer who says there's a monster in the woods.
Oh yes. I keep forgetting that title. Yeah.
So I would say this is more for the hardcore of us. Not in that like you want gross stuff, but you like finding cool ideas, fun concepts that maybe aren't made for a lot of money, because this thing appeared to have a budget of about $100.
Yeah.
But what they did with it is really impressive. Like really impressive that they were able to make a movie with basically just two people. There are a couple actors that are in it a little bit, but it's mostly just two guys in a house and in the field outside the house, and that's it. And their dialogue is great, and the way the story progresses is a lot of fun. But I think because of how small it is, I think it's going to be hard. Like I wouldn't tell, one of my uncle to watch this, or my dad or somebody to watch. He'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
But for people who like this show, I feel like this is one of those finds that when you watch it, you see it's a couple of brothers who made it. It looks like it's a big family project. I'd love to throw a little bit of money at them and see what they could do, because they did this with nothing. So this is one of those movies that I'm like, keep an eye on these people.
Yeah,
Because
they
they've
did a
got
crazy
some talent.
thing. They did good writing.
That's such a good point. I mean, it all starts with the writing, and it's like that's the step most of these movies skip. Like, let's just start shooting some cool looking stuff.
And then they magically also executed the writing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where it's like, man, if you've always said I wanted to make something, these guys did it. Like, you can do it. You know what I mean? Like, you really want to make a movie, you can do it for very little.
Rob Schneider, you can do it.
You can do it.
And this was on Prime, so if you have a Prime account, it is free. Definitely
Yeah.
worth a watch.
It is. I might watch that during Horror-tober again. That might be worthy of being on the list.
Well, I watched Bird Box Barcelona, the new
Barcelona?
sequel to Bird Box on Netflix. And I would say this. Hunter, Jason, I don't think you need to rush to go get your Netflix account back for this one.
God damn it.
It's
That's good.
almost 2 hours long.
Of course.
And it's basically the Bird Box stuff, but in Barcelona. And it's kind of it's a few years later. I don't know, maybe 4 to 8 years later. But there's flashbacks to the outbreak itself. And the only recognizable person in this movie is Georgiana Campbell, who's the one from Barbarian. And she's great.
Oh, okay.
And as you're watching it, because I didn't recognize anybody, and then as she progressed, I was like, "Who's this? She's really good." And then I looked, I'm like, "Oh, that's right." And one of the things that hurts this movie, I think, is that the original one had Sandra Bullock and Sarah Paulson and Malkovich.
Came
And
out
this
during
has
COVID.
basically, yeah. And then it also had a premise that I know. What's that movie with Mark Wahlberg where they
The Happening.
happening? And you had The Quiet Place before it, so there was a few things that had, but that movie had like a originality to it and surprise. So this one you kind of are ready for when people see this entity and they off themselves in various ways. In the first one it was pretty dramatic, and this one you're like, oh, okay. It does some things with how they tell the story from what kind of perspective. The thing for me was that, number one, like I said, the concept wasn't new. The pacing was kind of off. So there's a whole stretch in the middle where I just kept going, all right, come on, let's get going, let's go. And then the ending, naturally, this is like, ready for the trigger. They are clearly setting up a Bird Box-averse.
Sure.
That's
By the
what I
way,
heard.
Does Mallerman have anything to do with this movie? Chad,
No.
you know.
It's cashing
No.
the check.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
I
I hope he's cashing a big old check.
They should make a movie out of the book he wrote, the sequel to it. How about trying that?
I would have thought that that'd be out by now.
Honestly, I'm surprised it took them this long to come out with a sequel. That was a massive success.
It broke all the records. I can't believe it's taken this long because.
Well, it must have been like, could they get Sandra Bullock back? Probably not. So
Well,
they
remember,
went
that's
through-
when we were in lockdown, desperate for anything. That,
But
and
still,
Tiger-
that many people watched a movie, I would make a sequel. You know, like,
Yeah.
come on. You like, I don't know.
well, they had to sign all the paperwork for the Bird Box-averse.
I mean, there's a book, for it.
please.
Well, I
Hey.
watched this out of curiosity,
That book a movie?
but I came to the self-realization that I don't think I need a Bird Box universe.
No,
I think I've had enough Bird Box. So
I don't understand Netflix. I don't understand the movie industry as a whole, but Netflix feels like they're the worst ones right now. I do not understand any of the decisions they make. Like, I just cannot follow the thought process.
I don't know. My editor sent me an email that said Bird Brain Barcelona. And I was like, what? He's like, pass. I went, what the fuck? I'm like looking up Bird Brain. I didn't realize he was messing with the title.
Do you remember when Netflix was awesome, when they were buying up movies that were already made and showing them? And
Yes.
it was like how many cool movies we were discovering. And now it's like, oh my God.
when did they jump the shark? Was it that Cloverfield movie?
Oh, dude.
Ooh. That was
That-
Oh, when they hyped that
balls.
up,
Oh, that was disappointing.
I don't know.
I don't
they
know.
got rid of The Office too, a year
Yep.
or so ago.
Well, I
That's
think
why
that
we had to get Peacock.
Peacock wanted to get that back.
Thought that was odd. They must have paid a lot for it.
I'm sure.
Hunter.
Okay. So speaking of cable movies, which is all we talk about, I went on to Tubi because I felt I wanted to feel close to Chad, so I put some Tubi on. Felt a little
Solidarity,
fuzzy.
brother.
And I saw there was a Tubi original, and I was really tired, and I said shark bait. Now I feel close to Jack. So even though I was next to my wife, I felt like I was cuddling up next to Chad and Jack, and I said,
I saw that on Hulu, I think.
"You saw it on Hulu? This says a Tubi original, but whatever." And I figured this is going to be such crap. This will act like 3 milligrams of Klonopin, and I'll be asleep in 10 minutes. Somehow, I stayed awake for this whole damn thing. My wife fell asleep in 10 minutes, but I thought it would be like total crap, like shot on like a cell phone and stuff. It actually looks all right. All the people, almost everybody in this movie is a total asshole except for one person. So you have very little investment in any of these people surviving, but you do have big investment in seeing how they die, which is kind of cool because they're partying. Oh, do you remember, Jack? Were they off the coast? Were they
Was it Mexico?
Mexico, Spain? I don't know, somewhere. And after a long night of partying, they decide to steal a couple of jet skis. And they go out and woohoo! They're playing jet ski, craziness and chicken.
Jet ski chicken, yeah.
Yeah, and then you play chicken with a jet ski after you've been drinking all night. It's not going to end well. So it's basically about 5 people clinging for life on a single jet ski. It's a mix of the shallows and open water. That's the best way I can describe it. Not as good as either.
No.
But not as bad as you think it would be. I mean, because there are so many. I don't know what there are more bad movies of, sharks or Bigfoot. It's close.
Sharks.
There's a documentary coming out on Shudder next month called Sharksploitation. That's going to be all about
Mm.
these
I
kinds of
mean,
movies.
You could. Oh God, how long have I had that highlighted? If you just look at any of these covers, these are so easy to make. I mean, you just get a hot chick and have a giant shark about to eat her on any of these covers, and there are thousands of people that are going to click watch. They might turn it off after 5 minutes, but they are going to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
It's
for sure.
It's remarkable what this subgenre has become.
Like I said, it's actually not that bad for the summer. If you wanted to watch like a fun new shark movie in summer, I think this is gonna, quench your thirst.
I
for
think
sharkiness.
we need to make or get some money so that Jack can make a shark movie. I think
Hell
that
yeah.
needs to happen.
I'm in.
It's just going to be big-breasted blondes, big-ass shark.
By the way, this movie has 2 women in it. One is a big-breasted blonde, and at one point they slipped the life jacket off of a dead man and put it over her. And I'm like, that was the dumbest move you could have made.
I almost shut it off at that point.
I was like, are you effing kidding me?
I'd love to know, Jack, how you would work a vampire into the story, though.
A lesbian vampire.
I can do it. I can do it.
Also, did you guys see the trailer for the Meg 2 or whatever the hell it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
It honestly looks like it corrects all the problems we had with the first one. I mean, it's just the trailer, but I was actually like, oh, I might watch that.
Or maybe it springs forth new problems.
Probably. But it looks like there's a lot more shark chaos, which is...
Well, it looks like they're taking it to the next ridiculous level, which is really what they need to do.
Exactly. The first one felt too tame. So it's up to
make
game
it like a Mission Impossible movie.
Yes, but with $100 million CG shark.
I saw the Mission Impossible movie. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw it too. It was really good.
I've only seen the first one.
The good news is I haven't seen all of them. You don't need to see any of them to
Is
watch
Peter
this.
Graves in it?
No.
Oh, damn it.
John Voight in the first one, I think, is supposed to be Peter Graves from the TV show.
Oh. Do we have Martin Landau, like an AI Landau?
Yeah, they do like a CG Martin Landau, but he's from Space 1999 outfit.
I was gonna say, or is he? It's Bela Lugosi.
Yeah,
in Ed Wood.
It's a Martin
gives 2
Landau
fucks for Bella.
It's a Martin Landau multiverse. There's like tons of them.
Oh, I felt bad the day I knocked into him and almost dropped him to the ground.
Was I with you? I think I was.
I was waiting for you, and I was behind a pillar on the phone. And as I turned around to
seeing him
go, I mean, face to face, we hit chest to chest. I had to grab to catch him. His cane clattered to the floor. I apologize. He just looked at the phone and goes, "You got to get off that phone." I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
That's good advice.
Social for Landau.
Yeah. Bye, Marty.
Is it my turn?
By the way, social for Sheridan, who still hasn't shown up.
Oh, he did.
No, he's here.
Oh, he did?
He just did, yeah.
He gave the words. If you guys want to spit him
I
out.
was
Oh,
nervous.
we gave words? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll read the words. All right. Better late than never. That's what she said. Jack's words tonight that you must drink to. When Jack says social, Madison, Instagram. My words are boyfriend, twist, and girls. Jason's words are Photoshop, boat, and water. Mr. Lutsky, Thailand, book, and filter.
Like
And the
Instagram.
bonus words, island, birthmark, and identity. There we go.
Nice.
That's enough to get you drunk.
That's
Tuesday
appropriate that those didn't pop up until a half hour in, just like the credits in Influencer.
Oh, that's there you go. He planned it.
You planned it.
Chad,
Hey, he is
Chad, did you
way
see
ahead of the
Fresh?
curve.
Did you see Fresh?
No, I haven't seen Fresh yet. No,
Oh, let's check that out.
sorry. Did I ruin a joke? A good joke?
No, they do that in Fresh. That's like
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, you
Fresh
think
is a
you're really
good
watching
movie,
the wrong movie.
from what I hear. Okay, so
It's
I read a book I read several books, but I read. I have to talk about a book because I didn't watch really any movies. So I read Joe Lansdale's Freezer Burn, which I got my signed copy
This
here.
guy, Hack City.
First edition. I didn't know anything about it going in. I've had the paperback for a while, but never read it. This starts out with a guy whose mother is rotting in the next room while he collects her Social Security checks. But then when he realizes he can't forge her signature, he decides to grab some friends, and they rob the fireworks stand across the street. This goes south very quickly and hilariously. And the next thing you know, he's on the run, passes out in a swamp, wakes up with a swollen head like a pumpkin because these mosquitoes have been feeding on him while he was passed out, which apparently he's allergic to. So on his way out of the swamp, trying to find his way home, he stumbles across a traveling carnival with a freak show and reluctantly joins them.
How much weed is Joe smoking?
Right? Other stuff happens, but I won't spoil it for you. Great book. I mean, it's Lansdale. It's hilarious. It's a crime novel, ultimately, but with lots of humor and weird happenings with this carnival.
Just to say the least.
I mean, everything that I said, yeah, is like what? And I stuff that gets him in that situation in the first place with the swamp with his friends and what happens to them. It's just super chaotic. Anything bad that could happen happens in a really outlandish way. If you haven't read Lansdale before, you should. You know, I know that at least I don't know if Jack has, but I know that Hunter and Jason has.
Love them.
Audience members, if you haven't, you should probably remedy that. I can't really tell you where to start because you got crime with like Cold in July and Happy Leonard, and then westerns with Paradise Sky and the Magic Wagon, and then
Zepplin's West,
splatter punk with the drive-in. It all depends on what you're looking for, but Freezer Burn is, especially the first third, is a pretty good example of what to expect from Joe. One of my all-time favorite authors.
Yeah, I got to read that.
Are there a bunch of Happen Lender books? I remember the TV show.
Yeah. And the TV show was great, but it got, it was good, so they canceled it after 3 seasons. Great show.
He's lucky he got 3. 3's a good run. Yeah,
it was such a good show. I've seen lesser shows go on for 14 seasons. I don't understand it.
Talking to you, Walking Dead.
All right, Jason.
I just want to quickly mention one that this isn't horror, but it's the show Silo on. I think it's on Apple TV. I don't have it, but I watched it through my buddy's account. This is so good. It's based on the Wool series by Hugh Howey, the books from maybe like 12 years ago that went nuclear huge. Like if you look them up on Amazon, they have tens of thousands of reviews.
Jeez.
Like maybe 50,000. I don't even know. It's insane. Anyway, this series is amazing. Rebecca Ferguson is the star of it. If you haven't read the books, watch it. If you have read the books, watch it. It's awesome.
Did you say based on the Wool series?
Yeah,
Wolf
WOOL.
WOOL. Okay.
Yeah. Outstanding sci-fi books. Anyway, so I just wanted to say everybody should check that out. I did not get to watch a horror movie except for what I did for So Bad It's Good, which is going off shark bait is hilarious. I watched Cruel Jaws.
Oh my God, that's like the next shark movie I'm going to watch.
Dude, it's something, man. This is the biggest Jaws ripoff you'll ever see. But they don't just rip off Jaws. Actually, there's even a shot from Jaws in it that they just zoomed in on and hoped you wouldn't notice what it was. Star Wars music starts playing twice for about 5 seconds for no reason. And then they just slow it down to try to disguise it. This movie is glorious. Actually, I think Toten sent it. Since he's in the chat, I think he sent it to us. Oh, man. What a freaking movie.
Yeah,
if you like bad shark movies, Cruel Jaws is the king from what I have seen so far. It is wild, man. The main character is a dude who looks like Hulk Hogan. Like the hair, the handlebar, bleached goatee, the hot dog skin. I mean, it looks like Hulk Hogan's muscleless cousin. It is wild. There is a death scene and a boat blowing up in this that is one of the dumbest things I have ever seen in a film. It has to be seen to be believed. It is great. What's that, Chad?
You know who would make an absolutely perfect whatever they played in a movie to where it would be so bad it's good? If they played it just like dead serious, is that bounty hunter dude with the bleached hair and the
Dog
mullet.
the Bounty Hunter?
Dog.
Dude, if he was ever in a movie like that where it's just like drop dead serious, that would be gold, I think.
I mean, that's what his show basically is, right? He's playing it straight. He's like
Yeah.
talking to these convicts like he's going to change their life.
Well, that's
Right,
like it's like that shark movie I watched a couple of months ago with the country singer guy was like the shark hunter guy, and he was playing it like
that's
dead
right.
serious.
But I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Chad. Like a movie like this.
Yes.
Just put him in it. That's basically what they did with this dude. This
Like
dude,
especially if you would like say, dude, we want you to do a passion project. We want you to write, direct, and star in this movie. Might be the greatest movie ever made.
oh yeah, vanity projects are amazing.
Jason, isn't the Cruel Jaws like a whole bunch of scenes taken from other movies?
I was told there are scenes from other shitty shark movies that are stolen and put into it, but I haven't seen those. I just jumped right to Cruel Jaws. I was told to watch all three in a particular order, and if you tell me to do that on So Bad It's Good, I will do them out of order. So
How dare
I started with the third one.
If you want a great Jaws ripoff, watch The Last Shark. That movie got
Why is
like
that familiar?
sued. That got sued for being
Really?
like, too much. I mean, it's golden.
Well, if you want a shark movie that's not going to get sued, watch Ouija Shark or Ouija Shark
Yes.
2, which I have to watch now.
Didn't we watch Ouija Shark on one of those COVID Friday nights?
me and him just watched
No,
it.
I remember just watching a Jack recommendation.
Ghost Shark? Maybe watch Ghost Shark. I don't know.
That might have been it, but now Ouija Shark is quite memorable
All right.
for its badness.
All right, so there's been a lot of love for Tubi tonight, and I'm a fan of Tubi. But let's face it, when you hit the play on some of these Tubi originals, let's not elevate this platform too much.
No, you hit stop pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie called Captive, which is a brand new vampire movie on Tubi. Basically, a bunch of like stoners and party kids break into this mansion when the occupants are gone, and as they're partying, they discover a dude down in the basement, chained up, and all sorts of religious stuff hanging around. So naturally, they release him,
Oh,
and
look
guess
at that
what?
image.
Why
Not
did you click
shocked.
on this, Jack?
I don't know. I have no idea why. Now, as you can see there, Scout Taylor Compton, I think is her name.
Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Is that she was Laurie Strode in the Rob Zombie
Danielle Harris's friend.
Halloween.
Oh, I recognize her. Yeah.
So she's somebody you might know. I don't think anybody else in this you would know. This is one of those Tubi. It's got like the Tubi level special effects, and it's like fast food. If you're looking for something to watch,
Yeah.
like a cheesy, low budget, you know exactly what you're getting if you watch this movie.
Are
So-
you getting what you think when you see that thumbnail? Does it
No.
deliver?
It doesn't
Oh,
deliver.
damn you.
But it got me through a night with a, like I said, it's gas station sushi of movies.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So you crapped yourself when it was over. What? Some great recommendations tonight, boys and
Yeah.
girls. This is
You're
filling up
welcome.
your to watch list.
Wow. We came back strong.
Although now I have to read Wool. I just
Wool
saw it's got
is-
like 40,000 reviews.
There you go, dude. It is so good. The first book of it, like it's like 20% of the first omnibus, is some of the best
Right.
writing like ever. It's unbelievable.
Damn. That says a lot. Better than Blake Crouch?
That first chunk, man, is hard to beat. But-
Oh,
It's hard to beat.
that's saying something right there.
It's good.
All right, you guys ready for the main feature?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's influence.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right. I didn't write like a whole song or anything like that for this, but it's very, very short poem. Very, really short.
Like haiku.
Not even shorter than a haiku. But if you have any kind of beatnik music,
Man, it's been so long since I played it.
it's so short I kind of don't even need it.
Okay.
I had bongos.
Ready?
Yeah.
Influencer. Influence her. That's all I got.
Okay. Beautiful.
That could be a Shatner song too.
These snaps. Thank you for
Groovy,
that.
Why
man.
do you go to the island? Hunter, what's this movie about? Don't spoil
All right.
anything, though. It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it.
Yeah, there's a good twist like a third of the way in.
It's about an influencer, a blonde-haired influencer girl who's goes to this beautiful island vacation all on her lonesome because even though her life looks perfect in pictures, it ain't perfect outside of the pictures. And then she runs into a beautiful girl who befriends her at this resort that they're staying at, and then they kind of hook up. Not that way, Jack. Just hook up as friends.
I saw this movie. I
And
know.
she gets taken for a ride. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Now, I saw this movie first and I recommended it. So
You
I'm
did.
just going to say that I watched it. It was pleasant. I didn't know anything about it. And I would suggest that if you are planning on watching this, only listen to like our, quick non-spoiler stuff and then get out. But I enjoyed this movie a lot. And I think even if you didn't love this movie, I think it's worth a good conversation. So I'm curious to see what everybody else thought. So Hunter, go ahead.
I think you told me about it, and I watched it, I think, just before I went on vacation. Again, not expecting anything much. My expectations are so low this year. It's like, Jesus.
This
Like
is rough.
shark bait kept me awake. So this is where I'm at right now. The movie looked like the setting, wherever. Was it in Bangkok?
Thailand, I think.
Thailand, that's it. Gorgeous. I would have done that movie just to go to the location.
Yeah.
I thought the performances were actually pretty good. The girl who insinuates herself into the influencer's life, I thought she was really good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, excellent. This movie is not going to rock your world in any way, shape, or form. But it is entertaining. It kept me watching the entire time, and I actually think it was a pretty good movie. I was shocked because I hate influencers, so I just was like, "How the fuck am I going to watch this movie?" and care?
Yep.
All right, now, just judging by the Chad's name, let's see where this is going.
I know what happened.
I'll tell you this. By the name of the movie, I did not want to see it because I don't like influencers either. And I thought it was just going to be some, I don't know, maybe full of woke stuff, full of superficial people, which it is. But it was better than I thought it was going to be. However, I thought it was far too slow. And I don't know how they could have fixed that because they did need to, have some, the beginning needed to happen, like the first half hour. I feel like maybe it could have been done better. I don't know, but I was pretty bored for a long time. And it wasn't until maybe 45 minutes in that when something happened that I was like, okay, now I'm interested. But I can handle slow burns. I love slow burns. But when it's something like this, I feel like it needs a better payoff. Bodies is a great example of like a well-needed payoff because the movie, even though the movie wasn't slow, it was full of cliches until you realize it really wasn't. So, what are we rocking out to?
The wife just walked into the room, and she can't be quiet.
Why'd you let her out of the basement? You know better than that.
She got out of the manacles after she was breastfeeding somebody I threw down there.
So I didn't hate it. Liked it more than I thought I would, but I wouldn't I personally wouldn't recommend it to someone who's looking for a good horror movie to watch.
All right.
What you got, Jason?
I liked this way more than I expected. The cover, the name, I mean, it's just an instant turn off for me. Even though, when they name it like that, you have a feeling, you hope it's going to be like some influencer getting the shit kicked out of them. But just,
Exactly.
I cannot describe how much I hate the name influencer, the word. Like, it just feels douchey to me. I can't say. We were at Scares last year, and Tim was like, dude, you're kind of becoming an influencer. And I was like, shut your mouth. Do not call me that. I hate it. I hate how fake everyone is. Like, it just, like, Instagram makes me want to kill myself.
You're
I
just
hate
a
it so much.
purveyor of garbage. That's
Yes.
what you
I'm like such an old man when it comes to this influencer shit. So it helps that the movie was really good because I went in with like negative expectations just because of the name. I liked the structure of the story a lot. It's non-conventional in the way it kind of changes directions. So I thought that was a ballsy move that's pretty hard to pull off and maintain people's interest. Aaron got a little bored in the middle as well. I didn't. I was all in the whole time. I was curious to see what was going to happen, but the pacing is on the slower side for a lot of it, but it didn't bother me. So I enjoyed it. It felt good to watch a solid movie for Final Guys. I kind of didn't know what to do with it.
And it had a summer feel.
I
Like, you
gotta
felt
tell
like,
you,
I'm in the season. It was nice.
I was not bored by this movie at all because there were several things that I was like, where the hell are they going? Or I had a question about something. So it kept my interest the whole time. And because there's sort of like we can do it more in spoilers, but there's sort of a perspective change that happens. But then, like I said, there kept being things like, where is this going? What are they going to do? What? And then there's like one huge thing that I kept thinking about that we'll talk about in spoilers that you had to Google to find out.
My biggest problem we'll have to talk about in spoilers, but I think that you guys will also have the same complaint about something.
Definitely not the outfits.
Honestly, I thought all the actors did a great job in this movie.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people in it, but when new people are introduced, they're all really good.
The brunette girl, that's like a star-making performance, I think.
She's outstanding.
She's
And
like
she's
a dancer.
jacked in it, too. She's in great shape in this movie.
Yeah, she's a dancer in real life, so there you go. That's why.
There you go. That would explain it.
All right, you guys want to get into spoilers?
Do it.
Do it.
Okay, let me get
Soup's
the
on.
800-pound gorilla out of the way.
Okay.
As you can see from the movie posters, the brunette girl, one of the leads, I think her name is CW in the movie.
Yep.
She has a big birthmark on her face. And I kept watching the movie expecting that to come into play somehow or addressed. And it is hardly mentioned at all. And it is like a slight plot point. But I kept waiting for that to be like, what's the story behind that or whatever. So I Googled it. And it turns out that this girl really has a birthmark.
Yeah.
Right.
Traumatized her as a kid, but then she grew up and now embraces it. She could get it removed, but she doesn't. And it's like a great story of self-confidence and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, wow, that's fascinating. It's great. But the whole time I was watching it going, when are they going to bring this up? When are they going to bring this up? And they hardly bring it up at all. And so
I just kept thinking.
I'm glad they didn't, because as soon as we found out for sure that she was the antagonist, I knew I knew what her problem was, and that was that the birthmark or the mole or whatever, because she couldn't. I don't think she felt like she could be that thing. Even she didn't want her. Like, she turned her face away toward the beginning of the movie when it was taking the picture, but. Yeah,
I didn't take that as her doing it because of the birthmark, though. I thought she didn't want to.
I took that. Yeah. And initially, I thought it was for the birthmark, But then I realized later on it's because of her plan. But I just took it that that's why she hates influences in the first place and stuff. That she has some kind of like underlying jealousy, and it stems from the mole on her face.
But you know, they never come out and like her in tears, going, "I was picked on as a kid" or something.
No, and thank God.
It's not addressed.
I like that though. I like that.
I just thought
me
it's
too.
hard to commit crimes when you have something that is so outstanding.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. Like, this is a hard profession when you are that recognizable. You know?
And when the other when the person in the bar, who was it, the boyfriend, talks to the drunk guy,
Right.
doesn't he mention the birthmark?
He does.
Yeah.
So it came into play there, and basically like
There you
when he was looking through like the Instagram pictures, and he saw like a hint of it.
Right.
Despite that mole, she was the hottest one in the movie. I
Oh
thought.
God, she's gorgeous.
By far.
Yeah, she was in
Hands down.
ridiculous shape.
But Sheila Porter brought up the boyfriend was annoying as hell. I agree.
Yeah, but that was intentional.
He did a great job.
I know.
because
Yeah, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
because you hate him, and then all of a sudden you're rooting for him. So
Yeah, I thought that was some really solid writing and a performance, because, man, he's such a piece of shit early on. Then towards the end, you're like, dude, I kind of hope he figures this out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
When he showed up again, that's what it kept pulling me in. So I never got bored, because the first half, like you said, Chad, you don't see the credits, whatever,
Yeah.
for like a half hour. The perspective changes. You think the blonde is the main character.
Yeah,
She gets left on the island, and suddenly it's the other girl.
that's ballsy. That's ballsy
Yeah.
to do narratively, to just take your main character out of the movie a third of the way in and follow the villain. Like, that's a ballsy move. I'm glad it worked.
Do you guys think that they should have pulled the flashback scene? Like, it really didn't add anything at all with where the boyfriend meets the girlfriend for the first time. It just felt like what are we doing here? Why do we have to have this?
Yeah, I don't really think that matters why she got into doing that.
I did like the other woman, the other influencer, who was just like immediately like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem right.
Did she get out of the basement again?
Dude, she won't stop sneezing. I'm trying to motion for her to get the hell out of the room.
You got to give her the hose again. Come on.
That's it. You're banned. Shucks, get off the team.
Now that we're in spoilers, you guys want to hear my biggest problem?
Yeah.
The fact that guy could not stab that girl in the face, the neck, the stomach. I mean, come on, if you had a knife in your hand and someone is behind you, he act like he had adhesive capsulitis or something. Like he couldn't,
I didn't understand
Is that a
either.
drinking word?
Yeah. Holy cow.
He had frozen shoulder. He could only go like this. As I'm watching that, I'm like, I started yelling at the screen, and I'm like, everybody has to be yelling right now at this part.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, I have zero shoulder flexibility, and I could pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't like that. And it's an easy fix. Like, you just have the knife get knocked out of their hand as they go into the water.
Yeah, and then she goes down with the knife and then just freaking shanks him and then chokes him out too.
Who got killed? Was it the other influencer with the heel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was brutal.
They did a
I
good
just
job
did.
with that, with the sound effect and the lead up, because it was a brutal kill, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
No.
You don't even see the aftermath of it. She just is cleaning up blood later.
But
Yeah,
I
it's
love
just
how she's like
sticking her
a
in
smart person in a horror movie. Nope, you're a crazy bitch. I got to get out of here.
I like that too, because too often a villain like that is so well calculated that you never see the real stuff that somebody trying to pull this off would have to do. So it was fun to see her, like, the first time she does it, everything works, and then we see her having more trouble with it. The second
I
time
liked her
around.
character a lot.
Yeah. She was just like, no, you're weird.
Yeah.
And then, of
she
course,
seemed a
you're
little
like-
bit older, so she had a little more wisdom going for her.
And then, like, one of the main things that kept me interested, I kept going, when the hell are we going back to this island? We're going back to the island, right? For God's sakes, if we don't go back to the island, I'm going to throw something at the TV.
Yes, I felt.
Did you guys ever think that she was really dead?
No,
Dude,
thought
I
she was
knew
gonna
that.
make
I
it the whole
called
time.
that ending.
Yeah.
I had that locked in.
Aaron said when she left her, she was holding a wine glass, and she was like, she's going to catch water or something in that. I was waiting for that to come. I don't think we saw it again, but yeah.
Plus, she had mentioned she was a Girl Scout. I'm like, she'll figure it out.
It was still good though. The way it was
the
fun.
look on CW's face as she's pulling away in the boat. I thought that was perfect.
Yeah, it's a good ending.
Like, yeah, you got me. Maybe I earned it.
And I'll say this: I really like this movie a lot. But in this year, I have my little list of what I've watched from this year, and I'm like, this is so much better than most other stuff I've watched so far. So it was like refreshing to actually see. Like I said, this week I watched 2 movies, and I'm like,
dude. Sunday, I went to Tubi. I said, put in Bigfoot. I started and stopped 7 movies in a row. like
wow.
within minutes. I was like, nope.
I mean, you're watching Bigfoot movies, dude.
Dude, come on. Can't you make one?
And then for Shudder, I liked Brooklyn 45 or 45, and this. And like I said, neither one of them is my favorite movie of all time, but they were 2 good Shudder movies. Like, hey, I'm getting my money's worth from the subscription.
They're solid movies. This is why we started doing Final Guys, and it's gone off the rails this year because there's nothing good out. But
Shudder was in a slump.
Yeah, this is like the kind of movie I like to find. That this isn't going to come out in theaters, but it's a solid horror movie. It's just a good watch.
Yeah,
and I think it's a good summer watch because I want to see beaches and palm trees and Bangkok street food.
And then just learning the true story about that girl was fascinating. And I was like, wow, this is a great story. So
the crazy thing is, we're pretty close with the AI shit happening right now and deep fakes and stuff. Like, I wouldn't surprise me now if there are hugely popular Instagram accounts that are completely fake. It would not surprise me at all.
Oh, I'll bet. But I won't follow them anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. I hate Instagram so much.
I hate it all.
I hate influencers so much.
Stupid influencers.
So yeah, a surprise July movie. Just in time for Shark Week. Because I'm in the mindset of...
When does Shark Week start?
I think next week, right?
Damn it, because I have Cruel Jaws coming out Thursday, and I say, because of Shark Week. To hell with it, people. It's 3 days early. Deal with it.
Yeah. So what?
Jason Momoa is the host of Shark Week this year.
Ooh.
Aquaman himself.
Suddenly my wife's going to be interested.
Wait.
Hey, Red Legault is in it.
What's his name?
Hey, Red.
What's his name? Doesn't host anymore? Mike Rowe?
No, Mike Rowe is like Dirty Jobs.
Yeah, but I thought he always did Shark Week.
No, like last year I think it was... Yeah, every year is like a different person now.
Oh. I mean, I never watched any of it. Hey, Chad got disconnected.
I remember Jackass was hosting one of them last year.
Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah, part of the Jackass crew. I was like, what are we doing? It was so bad.
The thing about Shark Week is like there's so many other channels with shark stuff now that it's not.
And you can watch shark stuff all the time.
Yeah. Jason, I just can't believe I literally have been thinking about shark movies, and I was like, I have it, Cruel Jaws, in my queue, and I literally said, this has to be the next shark movie I watch because it's like such an obvious one that I just have never pulled the trigger on, and I was like this one, and then you just said it, like, wow,
dude,
great timing.
It's bad. It's a fun time. Once Hulk Hogan shows up, you're like, there's no way this guy's gonna be a main character. Yup. Well,
you got to watch The Last Shark sometime.
You got it. I might have it. I'll have to look.
Go check the vault.
The wall of garbage.
I don't know what else is coming out soon, but when we get off the air, I'm going to propose something to you guys.
You know what? We all missed Boogeyman.
That came out?
True.
Yeah, that was out while you were away.
What? Oh, you're shitting me. I was looking forward to
theaters. Yeah, came and went.
That came and went in a second, though. Hopefully it'll hit streaming soon.
I know a few people
said it
was really good.
Okay.
I wasn't checking reviews, but I did talk to people who saw it. They were surprised. How good
Our
it
buddy
was.
did that movie.
We were talking to him when he was, I think, editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was shooting pickups while we were talking to him.
Oh, that's
Crazy.
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Rob Savage. It made $82 million in the box office.
Well, he definitely made his money back.
And the girl from Yellow Jackets is in that. The one who's the blonde who's like Julia Lewis's.
Oh, yeah. So
remember.
Sheila Porter says Boogeyman was awesome. But
Damn.
that's going to have to wait. Probably August. We'll get it on streaming somewhere.
Dude, the window has been like 3 weeks to 8 weeks, and it's out. So
Chad, your homework. You got to watch Becky so that you can watch
Okay.
Wrath of Becky because that's That's like $1.99 right now on pay-per-view. So
Should that be the next movie? Or are you going to make?
if you want to, that could be the next movie. But Chad, you're going to have to watch 2 movies if.
Okay.
You want to do Wrath of Becky? Like I said, I think it's like $1.99 on.
I do.
doesn't matter. That's
I
fine.
wish Kevin James would be back, but we know that's
Stifler's
not
in
happening.
it.
Wait, no, you're kidding me.
I'm not kidding.
So it's
I never kid about Stifler.
Country Mac is in it.
I like Stifler.
He's a good actor.
Holy cow! All right, I'm doubling it. So there we go.
Stifler's awesome. What's that movie? Is it Role Models? Where they
With Paul
they
Rudd.
dress up like Kiss?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so there, Wrath of Becky. Done.
All right, Wrath of Becky
Boom.
it is.
All right. So, well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I wish you all a wonderful week. And may the wind be at your back.
Well,
Keep
once
your feet
I
on the
shackle
ground
my
and reach
wife
for the
back to the
stars.
wall, we're all good.
And you there, hey you, in the chat. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to
Indeed.
smash that like button.
Oh God.
That's what Jason makes us say.
Oh God.
No, don't smash it.
Until next guy, we're the final guy saying farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
Ooh, Spanish lady.